Today, I'm diving into an intriguing topic: why Bible-based Christians reject the Mormon belief in pre-mortal life. Pre-mortal life is the idea that our spirits existed before we were born on Earth. Mormons hold this belief, but Christians reject it. Let's start with the scriptural arguments used by Mormons. One key verse is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, where God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." Mormons interpret this as evidence of our pre-earthly existence. Another verse is John chapter 9, verses 1 through 3, where Jesus' disciples ask whether a man born blind sinned before his birth. To Mormons, this argument suggests the man existed before his birth, although in the context, Jesus clearly rejected this claim. Lastly, Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4 states God chose us in Him before the creation of the world, which some Mormons see as indicating a pre-mortal selection. But how do biblical Christians respond? First, we argue that Jeremiah 1:5 speaks to God's omniscience, not human pre-existence. It's about God's eternal knowledge, not a literal pre-birth life. In fact, 1 Corinthians 15:46 rejects the Mormon claim when it states that humans are not first born in heaven, but rather on earth. The next passage, John 9, verses 1 through 3, Christians claim the disciples' question reflects a common Jewish misconception at the time, rather than a truth confirmed by Jesus that no one sinned before the blind man's birth. Not only did Jesus deny premortal existence in his response, he disproved Mormon claims when he went on to explain in John 8, verse 23, that we are not from above heaven, but rather from below earth. Ephesians 1, verse 4, according to Christians, refers to God's eternal plan and his foreknowledge. It's about God's overarching plan for humanity, not about individual premortal existence. The core issue here is the differing interpretations of Scripture. For Bible-based Christians, the Bible doesn't support the idea of premortal life. We view the relevant verses as highlighting God's eternal nature and plan rather than a literal pre-earthly existence.